At exactly 8:46 on September 11th, 2001, this New York City skyline changed forever. Nearly 3,000 people lost their lives in the terrorist attack. But what isn't often reported is that nearly 70,000 kids suffered from post-traumatic stress. And now, Shelley Harwain, a former New York City school teacher, has put together an amazing collection of stories and poems and drawings by these kids affected by this tragedy.
These kids are actually bearing witness. They looked out their classroom windows and they saw. I mean, we had kids quoted as saying, "Look, teacher, the birds are on fire." And they were seeing people jumping. Looking out the window and seeing the smoke, it was unbelievable that our little guys were bearing witness to such an event, and then afterwards trying to make sense of it.
I think it was really sad that the Twin Towers fell. Osama bin Laden is the man who did this. But I think in some other place and some other time he could have been nice. We shouldn't go around hating people. It's not the way God made the world, and it doesn't make any sense. I think in a way, everybody has kindness in their hearts. Maybe he just needed some friends. People around me were like talking a lot about how, oh, they hate these people hate us, and I thought, it didn't really make sense to me that much. Things like this can be avoided if there's a little more compassion in the world.
They lost their school for a long time.
Yep.
I mean, our kids had to be evacuated. They ran with their teachers in hand, and we had to, recreate schools in different parts of the town, and it's not easy in Manhattan to find real estate. And they not only lost their school, but their apartments, basically, because most of them lived in the neighborhood of the school. So they weren't going home to the same house. They weren't attending the same school. Those families had to decide, do I even want to go back to that neighborhood? The biggest order we had was for Legos, Duplos, clay.
Yeah.
All those little guys wanted to do was rebuild the towers, just recreate them. They wanted them back.
I thought of my father, and at the time, he was leaving Paris. What would my father say to me if he had been on a plane that had been hijacked? At the end of my story, at the end of me, I shall overcome life's greatest fears. At the end of time, at the end of the minute, I will be with you always, every second. When the sun won't shine, and the moon is the only light, eternity is nothing to how long I promise to stay with you.
To see the world through their eyes, it's breathtaking writing. In addition to learning about bearing witness and learning about condolence, they also learn that your writing can pay tribute to people and places.
Yeah.
That's a big lesson.
On the day of the disaster, I was very sad and confused. I was scared and worried about the people in the World Trade Center, because to be in an exploding building is very scary. I hope we figure out what to rebuild in its place, because it's now empty. This is a day we will never forget.